It's your favorite nurse here again, and I'm here to talk about an interesting topic. It's called Rhesus incompatibility. We do not really know it for that term, but a lot of us might have experienced what it means or what it results in. What I mean is that many people have suffered from this Rhesus incompatibility, and what it leads to is that a lot of women give birth to babies, stillbirth babies, or babies they get to have miscarriages, or their babies get to have jaundice. Resource incompatibility in a layman language is how do I put it now? When you go for test, it's part of the test you do when you want to get married. You check your blood group and your genotype. So if you are maybe AO, that's your genotype, or AS, that's your genotype. So if you are ABO, that's the blood group. So if ahead of that, on top of that A, B, and O, you see either plus or minus. Now that is the test you need to carry out with your spouse before getting married. That plus or minus is what determines the compatibility between you and your spouse. If the man is, let's say, A positive and the woman is maybe O negative, then you know that they are not compatible in terms of their, that's as far as that test is concerned. So they prepare their mind for what to go through during pregnancy, so as to make sure that they have healthy and alive babies. So you go to the lab, you do the test. When you find out if the man has something like maybe B positive and the woman has maybe A positive or O positive, they are compatible. They do not have any issues. I hope you understand what I'm saying. If the man is O negative or B negative or whatever negative, and the wife is maybe O positive, B positive, they are compatible. There is no issues whatsoever. But if the woman has any form of negative in her blood group, like O negative or B negative, they are not compatible. And the husband is positive, they are not compatible. If the husband is negative, like O negative, A negative, B negative, and the wife is O negative, B negative, they are compatible. So the only issues is when you have the wife being negative and you have the husband being positive. There are things you need to do in such instances. The first thing you need to do is to let the doctor know the result of your test. Once you get pregnant, the doctor will carry you along so as to avoid miscarriage in your second pregnancy. The first pregnancy will go along just fine. You have your baby. But the thing is, when you have your first baby, you have to take an injection. That injection is what is going to, because when you have had the baby, the body tends to fight the opposite antibodies. Like when the wife is negative and the husband is positive, the body does not recognize that positive antibodies, so it tends to fight that positive antibodies. So when next your husband impregnates the wife, and the husband impregnates the wife and still deposits that positive antibodies in the body at that point in time will tend to fight that foreign antigen in the body, and could cause miscarriage in the next child, or could cause stillbirth in the next child. And if she's successful in having that child, it will cause jaundice, but that is very rare. What is very common is miscarriage and stillbirth. So you have to be very informed. When you have your first child, best thing to do is to sorry for that break. So when you have your first child, if you take that preventive measure at the right time, you can save yourself heartache or heartbreak of losing your second child. Because once the body starts fighting against that foreign antigen, that foreign positive antigen in the body, it tends to attack the next baby your husband or the husband will deposit in the body of the wife. The antigens, the negative antigen in the wife's body, tend to attack the baby's cell, the baby's red blood cell, because the baby's red blood cell is carrying positive, because that is what the father has. So it tends to attack and either cause miscarriage or stillbirth. So the mother has to take these preventive measures right on time. And what is the preventive measure? The mother has to buy Rhesus immunoglobulin injection at the correct time. The correct time is that it should be taken within 72 hours of delivery. So whether she has a normal delivery or she has a CS, she has to make sure that within 72 hours she takes that Rhesus immunoglobulin injection. That is her saving grace. That is what will calm, it will like calm the body's soldiers down, the antigens down, like calm down, don't fight, this person is a friend. So when next the husband puts a baby in the wife's body, the antigens will not fight. They will not fight the new antibody they are seeing. They are going to calm down, just like that baby in that video we always. So they are going to calm down, and the mother will successfully have her baby. It's very, very important that you do this test and you are sure of your Rhesus. You have to be sure of you do the test. Be sure that you are, especially as a woman, you need to be sure that you are not Rhesus negative. If you are Rhesus negative, do something about it. As a recap, I know it can be confusing because it's not what a lot of us have heard. Women, if you are Rhesus negative and you get married to a Rhesus negative husband, you are fine. You are compatible. You are good to go. If you are Rhesus negative as a woman and you get married to a man that is Rhesus positive, you are not compatible. You need to take this Rhesus immunoglobulin injection. You need to take it within 72 hours after delivery. I mentioned the reason why you should take it within 72 hours. So please, let's try as much as possible to go out and do tests. If you're married, it's not too late. If you're not married, you can still do the test before you get married. It will help. Please, it's life-saving. I've seen a lot of people